Hello, Christ Church. My name is Paul Fowler. I serve as our Lake Forest campus pastor. It's so good to be with you again as we're walking through our Advent devotional, The Good News and the Hope of the Christmas Story. This week, we have looked at a couple named Zachariah and Elizabeth, who are the parents of John the Baptist. And we see this angel who shows up and says that they're going to have a child, which was hard for Zachariah to believe because he was old and his wife Elizabeth was old. But they see God do incredible things in their life because of God's power to do all things. And so eventually they'd have John the Baptist, which would foretell Christ to come. So now the angel Gabriel is going to go to a young woman named Mary. In our passage today, we're in Luke chapter 1, verse 26 through 33. What we see is that the angel shows up, and as typical when an angel shows up at any point, has to say first, don't be afraid. This is okay. I'm an angel. I stand before God. And what's so great is he tells this story to Mary about she has found favor with God. It doesn't say why. It's just that God has given this favor on her. It says that you're going to have a son. I love what it says in verse 32 about this son that she's going to have. It says, he will be great and will be called Son of the Most High. The Lord will give him the throne of his father David, and he will reign over Jacob's descendants forever. His kingdom will never end. So why would an angel come to this young unmarried woman who is just from Galilee, no amazing place, and say that she is favored, that she's going to have a child that it's going to become the Most High? What we see here in the Christmas story is that God often uses ordinary people for extraordinary purposes. It's not who we are and what we do, it's who God is and what he can do through us. All throughout scriptures, we see stories of God using ordinary people for these extraordinary purposes. You think about David. He was just a young shepherd boy until God turned him into the king who was powerful, who ruled over all Israel. You think about Joseph, who was one of the youngest of his brothers, who would go on to rule in Egypt. We see this time after time with God using ordinary people, and Mary is in that same line. So as we think about the good news and the hope of the Christmas story today, my question for you is, would you be prepared if God called you to do something extraordinary for him? And is it possible that you need to take some time to process and think, what is God calling you to? What greater purpose does he have in your life? And the reminder is, it's not about who we are and what we can do in and of ourselves. It's what Christ came down to do for us, and that through him, we have the ability to serve others, to love others, to do incredible things by understanding who he is, not just who we are without him. That's the good news and the hope of the Christmas story.